Welcome to True Crime Pursuit. Today we're going to be talking about an Ohio case. Thank you if you're new to the channel. I am Frankie and I have a special co-host here today.
My name's Tina Cole from the Angry Woman Podcast.
Today we're going to talk about the Ryan Hinton case.
We visited the scene of the Ryan Hinton shooting and we are going to share 20 things about the case. This is part timeline, part truth serum, part holla, makes you want to holla. It's what happened after 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was killed by a Cincinnati police officer on May 1st, 2025. It's what happened the next day. Ryan's father, 38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr., was summoned to the station. They showed him the footage. He watched his son die on the video. Then came the line we've heard too many times. I feared for my life, spoken by the police chief. Rodney mourned. Rodney crashed out. He got in his car and he ran over a Hamilton County sheriff, not a Cincinnati cop. Rest in peace, Deputy Larry Henderson. Here are the 20 things.
Okay, starting with number one. Who is the unnamed officer in the Ryan Hinton case that you don't know? The officer who killed Ryan Hinton has not been publicly identified due to the Marsy's Law, which protects the identity of crime victims.
We'll do two. You want to keep going to two?
Number two, victims' rights under Marcy laws explained. The officer who killed Ryan Hinton is a victim under Marsy's Law. Marsy's Law passed in Ohio in November 2017. It is named after Marsali Marcy Nicholas, a California woman murdered in 1983. Under this law, the officer can file for disability, sue the city, and receive compensation.
Let's see what. Yeah, we're going to three. So it's interesting to think that this officer, this unnamed officer who wasn't in uniform, but we'll get to that, was identified as a victim before there was any. They hadn't even investigated. So the police, I think it's the police chief, the prosecutor hadn't ruled, the coroner hadn't gave their report, but the officer is being protected under a law to say you protect the victim. The officer is already deemed the victim before anything has been legally ruled on.
Right.
So number three.
Thought the shooting victim
was the victim. That part.
Yeah.
When I show the pictures up here, when they're carrying his casket, he's the victim.
Yeah.
So online detectives, y'all know y'all online detectives be doing the most. Y'all found out who he is. Y'all also found out his complaint record, his citizens complaint record. And I understand he's one of the top ranking officers with the most complaints. Isn't that interesting? I'm not going to post his name, but it's out there in case you want to know. Number four, he was out of uniform. Attorney Fernand Rucker, who is the attorney in the civil suit for the Hinton family, he said that when this officer, this officer that was not in uniform, shot, he was not in uniform. So was he like another George Zimmerman, like running up on your condominium property thinking you the super cop?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Number five, homicide versus justified killing. Dr.
Coroner, Dr. Samarco.
Dr. Lashimi Todd Samarco ruled Ryan Hinton's death a homicide, meaning he was killed. It's confusing. While all murders are homicides, not all homicides are murders. One commentator wrote on social media, so the coroner said he murdered Ryan Hinton. Do y'all think the officer's going to be arrested?
So right then and there, you see how it's confusing. He was killed, but the point is, was it legally justified or not justified? That's not always the case. The coroner in this case, Dr. Samarco, said she had never been, in her 13 years of being a coroner, she'd never been subpoenaed and told she couldn't talk. Usually she's free to come out and to speak on a case, and she said she wanted to speak out because she wanted to let both families know, the Hinton family and the Henderson family, that she wanted to express her sorrow. So she wanted to give the facts of the case. And it was something in her eyes that just said, when she said homicide, it was something in her eyes that said homicide. Y'all right. Yeah. But maybe I was reading into it.
Yeah, and you're not getting the proper questions or proper answers to the questions that you have, and especially the family. You know what I mean? It is not out of the realms of reasonableness to question and to have some doubts. In this case, has plenty of doubt. So imminent danger, we doubt that. I think there was other options, and to sit up here and have our police department have to explain to this family, like, we had to kill your son, it was necessary, because that's what imminent danger means. Like, no other route, no other rationale. It was either his life or the other person's life, and we just don't see that. It's less than 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
Just
I mean, just think,
seconds.
1, 2, like that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 6. And let me back up and say something. Ryan Hinton, they were in allegedly a stolen car, and they said that when Ryan, his friends ran into the woods, but Ryan ran between 2 dumpsters. They said when he ran, they heard something drop on the ground. It was a gun, and Ryan picked it up and pointed it at the police officer. I just absolutely don't believe that, because I know that the friends wanted to get away and Ryan wanted to get away. But let's go to point 7. This is what trips me out. Now, they call this a blading position. They said that, so what is the blading position and why it matters?
Number 8, Attorney Fanon Rucker criticized prosecutor's decision. So many of you may have seen the press conference, and good brother Attorney Rucker said Prosecutor Pillage should have let the grand jury decide on this case. And I agree. Basically, because the video was ambiguous and it did not show clearly that the gun was pointed at the officer, they should have put it to the jury, put it to the people, and let them judge.
Number 9, so here's the politics. Attorney Fanon Rucker, his best friend, he ran twice for the prosecutor's position. His best friend Alan Triggs ran, and there's a judge named Janelle Trotter. She ran. These 3 people, basically, they're the pillars. Excuse me. They're the steps to which Connie Pillage but climbed to get there. They ran before her. The Democratic Party voted for everybody on the ticket, but they got to the prosecutor's office, they ain't vote for them on the ticket. So that's the connection right there. 10.
Terry's background may have shaped the decision. Pillage served as a military police officer. Her background influenced how she sees the world matters. And so we are shaped by our lived experience. So we believe that because of her background, she may be more pro-police. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
A little bias, and everybody have some sort of implicit bias.
Absolutely. The political dynamics inside the prosecutor's office. So for a century, I forgot how long a century was. For a century, the Democrats have not, Prosecutor Pillage is a Democrat. For a century, the Democrats have not held office in Hamilton County. Wait a minute. Yeah. So, in over a century, y'all, the prosecutor's office has not been held by a Democrat. Connie Pillage is a Democrat. And so when the Republicans were in office, they got rid of everybody that didn't pledge loyalty. Think this administration. You got to go. If you ain't 100% loyal. But Connie Pillage has a different approach. She kept some of the staffers from the last administration, and some of those staffers, some of them, they didn't have a good relationship. They had a terrible relationship with the black community, and so she said her staff helped her make the decision on the Ryan Hinton case. And I'm just saying, Lord have mercy, I hope it ain't the staff that she kept from before, because she also got the reporter over there, and that reporter worked for a newspaper. They used to demonize black men, so I don't know who the staffers are, because Connie Pillage is decent. What I'm saying?
I don't really know much about her, and really her political history isn't really that extensive at the same time. But keep in mind, we're in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton County. So
exactly.
We're talking about a century of prosecution.
Not institutional, but injustice or just us. All right, well, number 12.
Number
12.
No prosecution for Lincoln Heights neo-Nazi racist activity. You may have seen this video of the neo-Nazis over a small black town, Lincoln Heights. I include this information because when paired with the outcome of the Ryan Hinton case, it leaves many wondering Whose safety and rights are being protected and whose are being ignored? Lincoln Heights is a historically black neighborhood in Cincinnati, Ohio. In February, a group of neo-Nazis entered the community in a U-Haul truck. They were armed and angry. Ken Anderson, a retired teacher and former radio host, states on his Facebook page, riding in the back of a U-Haul is illegal. Based on his research, he claims other laws may have been violated. But not a single charge was placed on the neo-Nazis.
Not one. So, unfortunately, Ryan Hinton joins a long list of black men killed by the police in Ohio. How can you forget 12-year-old Tamir Rice playing at the playground, shot in less than a second? John Crawford, who, Nicole, we went up there thanks to you, and you met the father. You did a lot of honorable work on his behalf. John Crawford was a young man. John Crawford III was a young man, went into Walmart getting barbecue for his family. And there was a pellet gun left out of the case, the glass case. He picked it up. Somebody called on him, black man with a gun, and he didn't survive, a half a
Before
second.
they could say freeze, they shot him multiple times. He didn't even have enough to say the gun is not real. His last words.
Yeah, he couldn't even say that. Couldn't even get the barbecue home. So those are just some of the high profile cases, but there are so many, too many to count. So now we're on number 14.
Number 14. Was Ryan Hinton twice victimized by the system? Officials searching for Ryan's phone found a photo of him posing with guns. Google white boys posing with guns, and you'll find millions of similar images. The disparity is obvious. Attorney Rucker states that have the officers record.
That he has the officer's record. Like he's got the officer's record. I know.
Let me say that again. Attorney Rucker states they have the officer's record. That's important because to fully understand both sides, you need to see all of the information, all of the evidence.
We want to see your record. We heard you top of the list. So donate. I just want to say that Ryan Hinton's mother, her name is Toreen, I don't know how to pronounce it, Jackson. She still has her GoFundMe up. And, this is an ongoing thing she's going to be going through. So if you want to donate. Also, Rodney Hinton, which is Ryan's father, he has not been convicted in the court of law. They say, some people I've heard, just speculation, he has some mental health issues. So he needs help with his legal bills. You could Google an attorney, Clyde Bennett in Cincinnati, and you could, if you wanted to help. This is just optional. I just wanted to put that out there.
17. Do black communities care about police violence? After a police shooting, people saying insulting shit. Why focus on police violence? If you paid this much attention to violence in your own communities, it would serve you better. That's like saying, don't worry about your kids vaping. Focus on mass teenage shooting instead. It's insulting because 1, it assumes we only care about one issue, and 2, it suggests we're not capable of focusing on multiple issues at once. Don't get me started on my complying topic. If he only complied. I'm a complier. I comply. If you don't comply and you run, do you not get to live for your court date?
That part. Vice President J.D. Vance, his brother, I think his name is Corey Bowman, he's running for mayor in Cincinnati. So because VP J.D. Junior Vance has a connection with Cincinnati, Ohio,
Hillbilly Chronicles.
Okay. Yeah, he wrote the Hillbilly Elegy. He wants to weigh in and say the shooting was justified, just like the Attorney General. How can you say that when there's been no coroner report, the prosecutor hadn't even ruled? So I want to go ahead and call him a bitch.
So our local Cincinnati branch of the NAACP, led by my good friend, President David Whitehead, released a statement questioning Prosecutor Pillard's report. It points out that no one has seen video evidence of Ryan Hinton pointing the gun at an officer. Believe you me, if Whitehead has seen clear proof, he would be the first to condemn the action while still expressing sympathy for the family.
Hinton, he was 18 years old. Yes, he's legally grown, but he's still a kid. I got that comment off someone on Facebook. He had his whole life ahead of him. I think of people that made mistakes like Judge Greg Mathis and Rashad Ritchie, who's a voice on YouTube, a strong voice. They had like little legal troubles and everything, but they turned their life around. So to give him a death sentence and to pronounce him dead, like nothing would ever have become of his life. And his father and grandfather, the Rodney Hinton seniors and all of them in his life.
Right. 21. Last one.
We finally.
Westview condominiums overlook the city, and it has a lovely pool just a few feet from the pool over by the dumpster is where Ryan Hinton took his final breath. There are 2 Cincinnatis. In one, people lounge by the pool overlooking the city. In the other, a teenager bleeds out behind a dumpster. Hashtag justice for Ryan Hinton. Hashtag Cincinnati. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag Ryan and Rodney. Hashtag systematic trauma. Hashtag unjustified but justified.
Thank you for staying to the end. Please share this if you found this podcast helpful. Please share it out and give it a like. It makes sure that more people see it and we get our message out. So thank you for watching True Crime Pursuit. I hope you'll come back. We're going to do another video on the Hinton case. And signing off. This is Frankie and co-host
T. Nicole. See you later.
Bye-bye.